Jessica, today you'll be coming over here, right? Could you do me a favor and grab some bread on your way? We're out of white bread. Wait, Lily, are you at your parents' house right now? Well, yes. It's my home too, isn't it? It's only natural for me to be here. My husband's out of town, so I thought I'd come home to avoid feeling lonely. Really? I'll see if Tom can stop by the bakery and get the bread you want. What? I thought I asked you to get the bread for me. What? But we're already on the road and almost there. I'm not spying on you, but I do know about the little bun in your oven. You should still be able to get some bread for me. You're due next month, right? So, no heavy lifting for you. Bread? Heavy? Fine then. Oh, and by the way, the baby's already here. What? Our little one decided to come early. We were planning on introducing the baby to everyone today. What? Why didn't I hear about this? Did you keep this a secret from me? About that, I know that you really don't like kids. So Tom said we should wait for things to calm down a bit so that you don't get too upset with us. That's why we kept you out of the loop. Shut up. You think you can just hide things from me because you're some dog? You need to stop screwing around, you idiot.
One hour later.
Lily. I'm not going to forgive you for that. I've told the police about this. And we'll take you to court to sue you. So you'd better get prepared. Huh? What are you going on now? I have no idea what that all means. What do you mean you're going to sue me? I didn't do a dang thing. You have no reason to be saying that now. When I brought my baby over to see their grandparents after we had only just gotten out of the hospital a few days ago, you came up to me screaming that you're supposed to have your baby first and then you punched me. You're getting sued is what has to happen now. What? You're upset that I had to do it because you screwed around too much. It's your fault for keeping the birth of your child for me. So you're the one who should be blamed. You came here acting all high and mighty right in front of my face. Which pretty much meant you were asking for a punch to the face. I can't believe this. If I'd known you were actually going to be at your parents', I would have never come today. Whenever I choose to be at my parents' house has nothing to do with you. And it's your fault for not asking before you both got on the road. But even still, that doesn't mean you punch me for it. Especially when I'm carrying my daughter in my arms. If you've got a problem with me that you can't deal with properly, then you handle it when my baby isn't around. But to be honest, there is never a reason to be punching another person over something like this. You didn't even talk to me about any of this. Instead choosing to just punch me without me knowing why. You talk too much. Who the hell do you think you are? Are you trying to be a dog by having a baby before your sister-in-law? I can't just sit here and let a freak who can't follow the rules get away with something like that without getting beat up. You're definitely never getting my forgiveness for any of this. What are we going to do then? Should I be worried that the family idiot might try and do something to me anytime soon? It's not even like what happened is anything to even be that upset about. You punched me in the face and sent me into the wall while I had my daughter in my arms, where she almost smacked her head on the wall. And so what, Jessica? It's perfectly fine for someone like you to get punched every once in a while, right?
A few moments later.
Andy, can we talk?
Well, hello Jessica. It's been a while since I last saw you, right after your baby was born. How are you doing? It's your first time being a mom, so it must be exhausting, right? If you need any help with anything, just let me know and I'll be there.
Thank you, Andy. Actually, there is something I need to ask you.
Sure thing. What is it? If you need me to do some chores or something, I'm free every day.
Actually, I'm on my way to the hospital right now. Tom is taking care of the baby and I need you to bring my purse and some things to me. You're my brother, so I thought you'd be up for it.
What? You're going to the hospital? What happened? Are you okay?
I'm going for a checkup. My head is bleeding. But I'll tell you more later, okay?
Okay, but Jessica, are you sure you're fine? You were shot in the head, right? Maybe you should stay in the hospital a bit longer for observation.
Andy, the doctor already told me that I'll be fine. Besides, I have to get back to caring for my daughter. I don't have time to waste.
You're quite the monster, aren't you? But if you're not well yourself, how will you take care of your child? Please don't push yourself too hard. You were already moving around a lot at the hospital. And even fell asleep mid-story because you were so tired. Can you tell me what happened?
Before I get into that, there's one more thing I need to ask of you.
What is it? Anything for you.
This isn't about helping with my baby. I need you to be my lawyer. There aren't many lawyers I trust as much as you. So this time, I want you by my side in court. Sorry for asking this for you.
Don't worry about it. I'll represent you no matter what happened. But what's important is your injury. It wasn't an accident, was it?
Actually, today, I took my baby to meet her grandparents for the first time. While holding her in my arms, my sister-in-law punched me. She put all her strength into that punch and sent me flying into a wall. I did everything to protect my baby and shielded her with my body. When I came to, the EMTs were carrying me out of the house.
What? What was she thinking doing that to my little sister and niece?
Luckily, my baby wasn't injured and I got off relatively lightly considering how hard she hit me. But because of the punch, I have a black eye and a slight concussion as well as some bruising on my back and arms.
What is wrong with her? And where was Tom when all this happened? The fact that he hasn't said anything about this yet. Something doesn't sit right with me.
Tom has always been on my side, Andy. He and his sister have always been at odds and she took out her anger on me today. She's done this before to him too. So maybe I should have seen this coming.
Punch an old little brother all the time has already messed up.
When I confronted her about it, she denied everything and even had the nerve to blame me. She called me names, and I was stupid enough to hope for an apology from her.
That's outrageous. How could she attack you, especially when you've just given birth and were holding your baby? She won't get away with this. Jessica, leave this to me. I'll make sure anyone who thinks it's okay to hurt others, especially you, will pay for their actions in jail. She'll get what she deserves.
Thank you, Andy. What should I do in situations like this? I guess avoiding her is the best thing to do, right?
I would never advise you to go near her after what she's done. But we'll need more proof of her violence for court. I'll use your text messages as evidence. And I want you to collect any other evidence that might help us in court. Maybe you could record your conversations with her. Just make sure to get out of there if things get worse.
Okay, I'll do my best. I'll make sure my daughter is safe at her grandparents' house.
And I'll do everything in my power to protect both of you. Right now, though, you need to rest and heal. We'll need all your strength to gather the evidence that will win us the case. Be ready for anything from her. I'll come over tomorrow to check on you again.
tomorrow.
Lily, just as I told you yesterday, I've gotten myself a lawyer. And so, with that, I'll make sure to cross you. I want you to be ready for when that day comes. Why would I be preparing for that? You are a freaking idiot. Stupid dogs like you always try to make yourselves look all big and tough, don't you? You're probably nothing but talk right now. And how could you even get a lawyer when you have no money right now? Do you not understand how much it'll cost you to take me to court? And without evidence, things won't end in your favor. But I guess some people are too far gone to be helped, huh? Lily, why do you have to go so far to treat me like that? I know that for a long time now you've had things against me. But you've never even talked to me before because you hated me so much. Well, I went to a far better university than my dunce brother. And I ended up marrying an elite. So I have the right to pick on all of you lowlifes. You, on the other hand, came from nowhere with nothing but a high school diploma. And your parents are nowhere to be found, right? You and I are nothing alike. And like I've said before, you're a dog and I'm your master. However, at some point along the way you started to hide things from me. And now I've had to step up my game for your actions. Do you see now? I have to be extreme with you. Well, if you've been trying to put me back down. You've already shown me that by what you did the other day. But to be honest, I don't even remember hiding anything from you, Lily. Really? Are you really saying that right now? This is the reason that I hate talking to idiots like you all the time. Listen, you're hiding from me that you had your baby before I could have mine is just bullcrap. There is an order to things in this world, and yet you seem to have never learned that. Did you not learn back in preschool about all of that? You have to follow the order, right? This is the reason you're like a dog, you freak. Ugh. I can't do this. You've been married for 5 years now, and the reason you still haven't had a baby of your own. Is it because you and that elite husband of yours don't get along too well anymore, right? And also, your husband is overseas right now, correct? So the two of you can't even find the chance to have a baby right now. So I don't get why you think I need to wait for you guys when you're taking so long. Shut the hell up. It's your fault for not following the order and doing everything without my permission. Even with all the disrespect you've shown me. I'd expect a simple apology from you.
One week later.
Ugh. Jessica, is all this crap from some lawyer you're doing? What is all of this? I've got things here from the court. And even more things from your lawyer. What the hell is going on here? Did you really end up getting some money to do something? Because it seems that way. Nice to meet you. I am one of the lawyers from McDonald's law firm. My name is Andy. As of right now, all of those documents that you've been given is due to the mistreatment of my little sister. And so this time, I'll be acting as a lawyer in this case. Huh? So you're that idiot's brother that I talked to long ago? So that must make you an idiot as well, right? I'm not going to let you fool me right now. Although I am acting as the lawyer for my client, she is still my younger sister. I am not letting you get away with what you did to her. And since you committed the perfect crime, I'm going to make sure you're taken in for it. Don't you even try to look down on me like that? There's no way a freak like Jessica could actually have a brother. That's a lawyer of all things. I'm surprised to have gotten something from the court, but after thinking about all of this, I can see what's going on here. You must be that dog's secret lover or something. You have been trying all along to act as though you're her older brother, but I can see right through it all now. Secret lover, huh? I'm sure that if that were the case, you'd be better off. But because I'm her older brother, that'll never happen. So don't even try saying something so disrespectful. My sister is an amazing woman and she'd never cheat on her husband. What are you talking about? You're disgusting. If you really are her brother, then why are you working so hard to protect her like you're together with her? I think you'll understand the reason why. Love my sister enough to do anything for her. Both of us lost our parents in an accident. At that time, we were given all the money from our parents, which let me get into college. But at that time, Jessica was still in high school. And so even though I was working to become a lawyer, I also made sure to play the part of her parents. I worked a full-time job while going to school. And I am so happy that all my work paid off in raising such a beautiful sister. And because of that, I can say that I really am in love with my sister more than anyone else and I am willing to give it all to her. There's nothing more disgusting than a man who was so in love with his little sister. You both should be fighting each other. Not being all in love and everything. I can see now why both of you are such freaks. Well, if you think that my definition of love meant something sexual, then that's on you. But what's so wrong with my wanting to love my sister and care for her? Huh? In my case, the only family I have left is her. So wouldn't it make sense that all the love I have would go to her and nobody else? So that's why I care for her so much. And the only person that took that as meaning I was for some reason, her boyfriend, was you. You only try and pick at our lives even more and try to find more reason to treat us like idiots. So we're going back to the main point I was talking about. Due to recent events, you're being taken to court. I think it's best if you get yourself a lawyer soon. Now, I'll talk with you more about all this in the coming days. I don't have the patience anymore to deal with you. Or else my head is going to explode. So I'm going to take a break and let myself cool off. Stop screwing around, you. What do you mean by take me to court? I haven't done anything wrong. You can't just try suing me for nothing, right? Are you listening to me right now? Listen to me right now, you freak.
Tomorrow.
Listen to me, you dog. Are you really going to take me to court for my money? If you go ahead and stop all of this court crap, I'll give you a small amount of money and then you should be happy. I was starting to think about texting you here pretty soon. But it seems like you beat me to it and are still acting like you were better than me. Why is that? Anyway, if you think I'm only in this for the money, you'd be very wrong. There are other things I want taken care of. Huh? And what's that? I told you that I'd give you some money and yet you still want more. I don't really care what you try to do. But I hate you enough now to not hold back from taking you to court. But if you really want to handle all of this outside the courtroom, I want you to not only give me some money, but also apologize to me right in front of all the family. Of course, you'll also be apologizing to your mom and dad. But I want you to apologize to Tom as well. Oh, stop that crap, Jessica. You think you can get my parents and family to laugh at me? Why do you think I need to apologize to you? Seems that you still don't quite get it. Whether we go to court or not, you're going to have to apologize for what you did. After all, you literally hurt me and almost hurt my newborn baby. And so in that case, the right thing to do is apologize, right? But you seem to not understand that. Which means there must have been something wrong with your education. A dog like you has no right to try to make fun of me, you freak. Well, I tried telling you how I wanted this all settled out of court. Yet you still don't seem to want to listen to me. So I guess the next time we see each other will be in court. Stop that crap. I haven't done a dang thing wrong. This is all your fault. So why do you think I have to listen to what you've said?
Over 1 month later.
There is no way this is happening. What was all of that? Why was nobody listening to anything I said in that courtroom? You think I should just listen to that idiot lawyer of yours and settle outside the court with you? Everything is acting like they're better than me right now. You are going to pay for this, you jerk. I'm not going to pay anything to you after this. If you'd like others to listen to you, then perhaps you should listen to all that crap you plan to say before you spew it all out. I told you already that this is all due to your childish behavior. And that I'd never forgive you for what happened. And like I said, when in that ambulance, I told the police about all of this. I think you'll be taken away by them soon. So be prepared for that. Taken away? You mean into custody? You're being serious back then. I was. The way you acted back then was dangerous for my daughter and me. And I couldn't let you get away with that. So in order to protect my daughter, I had to become your demon. Don't you start acting like you're doing any of this to protect that kid. I'm sure the police won't be able to get me. My husband has a ton of money. And I'm sure if I asked him, he could bail me right out of there. My husband may be working overseas right now. But the company he's with is from overseas. He has to work a lot all the way on the other side of the world. But he makes bank doing so. I'll make sure to use his money any way I can. And I'll be back out on the streets to come and get you. Too bad for you, you dog. I'll remember this. I'll make sure that you burn in hell with that brother of yours and your baby. Well, that husband of yours has asked for a divorce recently. So I don't think you'll be able to afford anything. What? I don't think you understand me yet. I told you that I'll do anything to become your demon. And that includes getting your husband involved. Actually, even before that, I had a look into you and your husband a bit more. And I found out you'd been cheating on him. The man you've been with is a handsome-looking bartender, right? Amazing. I go out to him to drink fine liquor, and then after that, the two of you go out and make love behind your husband's back, right? Why have you looked into my life that much? That's my private life. I could take you to court for that. You're too late, though. You're in the middle of going through the court system as we speak. And before you try and get your husband to understand you, I've already talked with him and shown him all the evidence. He may be overseas at the moment, but he can still get a divorce. So thank you so much for making all your trips with that bartender so obvious. It really helped me get more evidence than I'd asked for. With him knowing all of this, prepare to get an earful from him when he tells you the news. Your husband also knows about how all the money he's been giving you has gone into that bartender. So he has every right to be more than angry. But even if you hadn't cheated on him, he also knows about the procedure you got to stop yourself from having kids. I always knew you hated kids, but never thought you'd take away your own ability to have them. You think he's just going to throw me away for all of that? There's no way he could do that to me so easily. Will you throw them out first, right? So I'm sure you won't only be getting divorced from him, but he'll be asking for a settlement as well. Good luck paying for all the damage you've caused. And I think I'll let you know this right now. I have no plans of going easy on you with the money I ask for. And even if you do lose everything, you'll still have to find a way to pay me. This is your direct path into hell. I hope you have a wonderful time. No. This can't happen. I'm supposed to be on top. I've been to a great school and have an elite husband. Why won't anyone come to help me right now? Hey! Can't you at least let me off this once? Following that, Lily attempted to reach out to her husband in a plea for forgiveness, but he coldly rejected her and they ended up getting divorced. Additionally, she made an attempt to evade the police in the courtroom, but they apprehended her and placed her under arrest, with a subsequent order for her to pay a substantial amount of money to us. Alongside these events, her family finally voiced their opinions on the matter and severed all ties with her. They were repulsed by her actions and wanted no association with her. Ultimately, she was not charged with assault. Although I advised my brother to let go of the situation, as I wanted to witness her suffering in society. Nevertheless, we did obtain a restraining order against her, ensuring that she is prohibited from coming near me or my family ever again. Currently, she is struggling to secure employment and settle her debts. Consequently, she can be seen in disheveled attire, appearing as though she hasn't slept in weeks. It is a pitiful sight, and I feel no sympathy for her. On the flip side, I am thriving in life with my contented family, and occasionally my brother visits to spend time with his niece.
Hey, Emma, I can't take this anymore. Can you believe she's doing nothing even though she's in her last month of pregnancy? What kind of parenting did you do?
Oh, hello, Eric. Mind filling me in on what you're talking about? It's all coming out of the blue, and I'm a bit caught off guard here. Can you shed some light on the situation?
Oh, so you're playing dumb now. What else could I possibly be referring to? It's none other than your super lazy daughter. Just picture the horror show that is my house right now. It's disgustingly filthy and in complete chaos. The bathroom floor is disgustingly dirty and there's a thick layer of dust lurking under every table. You know what? You've utterly failed as a parent. You couldn't even manage to teach your daughter the basic skill of properly cleaning a house? Shameful, really.
I get it. You're frustrated. But let's not be too tough on my daughter, Rachel. Have you ever noticed how huge her baby bump is? It's not realistic to expect her to be bending down and cleaning with that belly, right? If you're so worked up about your house being dirty, why not take matters into your own hands and clean it yourself? Instead of pointing fingers, let's find a solution that doesn't involve putting unnecessary pressure on Rachel.
Are you kidding me right now? I've got a ton of work on my plate at the company. I'm not just lazing around all day like Rachel. She's the one who's staying home all the time, so I expect her to give it her all and handle those household chores like a boss. No half-hearted attempts, but full-on perfection. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold in a sec. Are we talking about the same Rachel here? 'Cause if we are, you've got it all wrong. My daughter is definitely not staying at home. She's still going to work every single day, just like she did before she got pregnant.
Look, I couldn't care less about what Rachel does. She probably stuck in some dead-end job earning peanuts. Who gives a damn, really? The truth is, I'm the one bringing home the bacon in this family. And it's an absolute disgrace to walk into this dump of a house after a hard day's work. Unlike your daughter, who's clearly accustomed to living in a dumpster fire thanks to her useless parents, I have some freaking standards. I refuse to tolerate a filthy pigsty. It's a clear indication of nothing but pure selfishness and laziness.
I think you might be expecting a bit too much from my daughter. Trust me. I've been through pregnancy myself. And I know firsthand how challenging it can be to handle all those morning sickness symptoms and cope with the physical and emotional changes. As her husband, it's only fair that you lend a helping hand with the household chores. It's important to spread the workload and make things easier for everyone.
You know what? I can't waste my precious time on someone who can't even handle the simple task of looking after the house while I'm out there bustling my ass at work every damn day. I don't care what excuse you have, laziness is a big no-no in my household. That's why I'm leaving, Rachel.
You're seriously considering leaving my daughter just because she can't fulfill all your demands when it comes to household chores?
Oh, absolutely. Let's get real here. What good is a woman if she can't even handle the domestic chores properly? If a woman can't excel at housework, she is basically useless. Let's face it, a woman's worth is solely determined by her ability to scrub toilets and fold laundry. And that's the harsh reality, plain and simple. End of story.
Let me tell you something. Life isn't about having a perfect mate for her wife. It's about love, understanding, and supporting each other through thick and thin. There's more to a partnership than just ticking off a checklist of chores, you know?
To be honest, Rachel is just a total waste of space when it comes to handling household chores. She's practically a hindrance, always getting in my way and screwing things up. That's why I've made up my mind to send her your way. Feel free to throw a big extravagant party to welcome your daughter back into your home if that's what floats your boat. Either way, I don't want Rachel anywhere near me for another freaking minute. She's become nothing more than a burden, and I'm done dealing with her.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe you would speak about my precious daughter in such a horrible way. What happened to all those promises and vows you made on your wedding day? Were they all just empty lies?
You do realize that marriage vows are a two-way street, right? Rachel has completely failed in fulfilling her so-called duties as a wife, and I refuse to be stuck with someone so utterly useless.
Surely you're aware that she's carrying a child, aren't you?
Are you kidding me? Why should I give a damn about some useless unborn child? You do understand how things work, don't you? More kids mean more burdens and expenses to deal with. So honestly, it's actually a good thing that I can get rid of both Rachel and her child. What a relief to be free from such a hassle. Good riddance, I say.
Listen, Eric. If you're divorcing my daughter, you still have responsibilities. Alimony and child support are important obligations that you can't avoid forever.
Hold your horses. Who said anything about me getting divorced from Rachel? I'm just leaving her at your place for a few days to teach her a lesson, you know, to make her realize how pathetic she is and hopefully transform her into a better wife when she finally crawls back to me. Anyway, I've got more important things to attend to, so I'm out of here. Take care of my little experiment, Emma. See you whenever I feel like it. Bye.
Several days later.
Eric, I demand an explanation from you now.
What's your problem? Can't you comprehend the fact that I'm actually working here? Couldn't you have picked a more convenient time to bother me instead of interrupting my precious work? Oh, for the love of you and Rachel are just insufferable. constantly getting in the way and annoying everyone with your petty problems. Honestly, it's like you two have a special talent for being a nuisance.
How dare you conveniently leave Rachel at my doorstep and vanish into thin air like it's no big deal? Do you have any idea how irresponsible and thoughtless that is?
Oh, did I not make myself clear enough for your feeble mind? I clearly warned you in advance that I would be dumping Rachel at your place. So your only responsibility was to let her into your precious little house. Don't even try to tell me that you're incapable of doing something as basic as that.
Eric, your unreasonable and disrespectful behavior towards me is absolutely appalling. Have you no regard for the elderly? Show some respect, will you? Listen up. I demand to know what you've done to my daughter. What on earth did you do to make her this way? Did you even bother to glance at your own wife? Take a good look. Dark circles mar her eyes, her hair, nails, and skin are all dried up. Her fingers are cracked and bleeding. Her expression is laden with darkness, and her gaze remains fixated on a single point. It's as if she's lost the strength to even muster a smile. Do you even have the capacity to comprehend the anguish and devastation a mother endures witnessing her daughter deteriorate so drastically in a matter of months?
What? Are you really blaming me for that? Rachel's the one who slowed down due to her big belly. So how could it be my fault? Listen, housework is a woman's job. And Rachel even lied about feeling sick just to get out of it.
Let's not jump to conclusions about my daughter lying and being sick. Frankly, I highly doubt that's the case. Surely you're aware that she's carrying a child, aren't you? Well, let me remind you that those morning sickness symptoms can strike at any given moment.
What? Don't make it sound like morning sickness is some kind of deadly, exhausting ordeal. It's not a disease, and every woman has to go through it during pregnancy. Do you even realize that your precious daughter had the nerve to ask me for help with the chores? Knowing damn well that I've been working my ass off all day? Unbelievable. Anyway, Rachel is in the way and neglecting her responsibilities. So please take care of her until she pops out that baby. Thanks.
So you're telling me you want Rachel to stay at my place until she gives birth? But wait a minute. Wasn't it just a few days you mentioned it before?
Well, I've had a change of heart and I've decided it's best if Rachel stays with you instead of me. You see, I'm always swamped with work and completely clueless when it comes to taking care of pregnant women. But hey, you're a woman and you happen to be Rachel's mother. So naturally, you must know exactly what to do, right? Enjoy the quality bonding time.
Fine then. I'll take her in. I can't trust you to care for her anymore.
Look, if your daughter is such a mess right now, it's because you failed to raise her properly. I get that your husband passed away when Rachel was just a little kid. With no father around, she doesn't even know how to treat her husband. I'm the one suffering here. I'm literally the victim.
Eric, I must say your behavior is truly intolerable. No man should speak about his wife in such a manner. It's not only cruel, but also completely inhumane.
You know what? I don't really care. Oh, and here's another thing. Once the baby's born, come and pick it up yourself. Meanwhile, please re-educate your daughter, Rachel, on how to be a proper wife, all right?
You're a terrible man, Eric. I deeply regret letting Rachel marry you. So do us all a favor and just disappear. Get lost and stay out of sight, both mine and my daughter's. I never want to set eyes on you ever again. Got it?
1 week later.
Rachel, it's way past lunchtime. How about you take a little break from all the housework and join me for a nice lunch? It'll be a good chance to relax and refuel.
It's fine, Mom. You can go ahead and eat first.
Hey Rachel, I don't want to pry or anything, but there's something I've been wanting to ask you. It's pretty important to me, so I'd appreciate it if you could give me an honest answer.
Where is it, Mom? I'm kinda in the middle of cleaning the house right now, so I might be a bit busy. What do you need?
Hey Rachel, I've noticed ever since you moved in with me, you've been looking pretty down and gloomy. Is everything all right, sweetheart? Is something bothering you?
No, nothing's wrong, Mom. I'm totally normal, you know?
Could you please fill me in on what happened between you and Eric? You've been so quiet lately, and it's really got me worried. I feel bad that I haven't been able to spend as much time with you as before. You know I've been caught up with this latest project. And I only just got back to our country not too long ago.
It's all right, Mom. Remember, I told you before that you could go on your work trip and not worry about me. I mean it. I can handle things on my own.
Honestly, Rachel, I must admit I was completely taken aback when Eric called me and brought you over to my house. It was such a shock to see how much you've changed since before I went on my work trip. To be honest, it really broke my heart to see the difference. So, tell me straight, Rachel. Were you wearing makeup every time we video called during my business trip?
Mom, I'm sorry. I lied to you. I knew you were busy with work, and I didn't want to burden you with my problems. I didn't want to worry you at all.
It's okay, sweetheart. You're safe here with me now. Please open up and tell me what happened between you and Eric. I promise I'll do my best to help you through this.
You know, Mom, Eric has always been so driven and focused in his career. Even after I got pregnant, he kept attending work parties and leaving me alone for most of the day. Whenever I needed help with anything, he wouldn't lift a finger to assist. It's like he didn't care. And on top of that, he even demanded that I do household chores even when I was feeling sick from the pregnancy. Sometimes, after a night of drinking, he'd bring his colleagues home and expect me to cook and clean up after them.
Oh my God. I can't believe you had to endure all of that, sweetheart. I'm so sorry you had to go through such a terrible situation. What you've just shared with me is absolutely unacceptable. But why didn't you tell me about this earlier? I wish you had confided in me sooner. I would have done everything in my power to support you and put a stop to all of that nonsense.
I don't know, Mom. I guess I just thought you were working so tirelessly and putting so much effort into your project. I didn't want you to do anything that could jeopardize your career. So I decided to tough it out. I tried to handle everything on my own. I even attempted to have the doctors explain to Eric about the physical changes during pregnancy, but it was all in vain. And with my in-laws living so far away, only accessible by flight, I couldn't rely on them either. It felt like I was all alone in this.
I'm so sorry for not realizing this sooner, Rachel. You had always put others before yourself. From now on, please prioritize yourself and your well-being, Rachel. Whenever you feel like you're struggling, don't hesitate to ask for help.
Thank you, Mom. I can't express how grateful I am to have you by my side. I honestly don't know what I would do without you. I want you to know that it's not entirely your fault, okay?
You warned me about Eric's true character long before we even got married, but I was foolish and I didn't listen to your advice. I was completely deceived by him, thinking he was a good and caring man, and I rushed into marriage with him too quickly. In reality, it's me who owes you an apology. I'm sorry for not having your word, Mom. I deeply regret not listening to you, and I understand now how right you were about him.
It's all good now, sweetheart. Let's put all the negativity behind us and focus on taking care of ourselves. You deserve a lot of rest. Trust me, everything will be okay. I've got your back, and together we'll get through this.
Few moments later.
Hello, Shirley? It's Emma, your next-door neighbor. Are you free right now? I was wondering if you have some time to talk.
Oh, hi Emma. Yes, I'm free at the moment. Can I help you with anything?
Oh, I hope I'm not interrupting or anything, but I heard you used to be a therapist, right? I could really use your counseling skills at the moment because my daughter isn't doing too well. Do you think you can help me out?
My goodness, I'm so sorry. Yes, I used to be a therapist and I'll do my best to help you out. Just tell me what's going on with your daughter. What's been bothering her?
Well, my daughter Rachel is currently going through a challenging situation due to her husband's reckless behavior. And she happens to be pregnant. As a result, she's staying with me until her baby's due date. Considering your expertise as a skilled therapist, I was wondering if you could kindly recommend a reputable clinic.
I'm sorry, but would you mind providing me with more details about your daughter's current situation? This will help me offer you a more tailored and accurate recommendation.
Rachel is currently experiencing significant trauma due to the mistreatment she endured from her husband throughout her pregnancy. He consistently neglected her and subjected her to verbal abuse. He frequently prioritized his own desires, such as working late or socializing with friends, over fulfilling his responsibilities at home, leaving Rachel to handle all the household tasks on her own. Adding insult to injury, he even had the audacity to drop off their daughter at my place, claiming that she would be an inconvenience.
What kind of person is he? How could he possibly subject his own pregnant wife to such mistreatment? It's a knack of pure cruelty that words simply cannot fully capture.
I'm shocked myself that he could stoop so low and treat my daughter in such a despicable manner. After staying at my place for a few weeks, Rachel has managed to gain some composure. However, as her due date approaches, her emotional state has been increasingly unstable. It's disheartening to see that every time I come home from work, the house is spotless. Even when I insist she rests, she continues to take on household chores. She even attempted to move heavy mattresses or change burnt-out light bulbs. At times, she's tried to pack her bags and go home, fearing her husband's wrath.
Emma, I must admit that Rachel's situation is quite concerning. However, there is no need to worry. I can provide you with the addresses of a few reputable and suitable clinics for your daughter. Moreover, please rest assured that I'll keep a close watch on Rachel while you're at work. I've already retired, so I'm more than willing to lend a helping hand.
Shirley, I can't express how thankful I am for your support. Your assistance means everything to me and my daughter. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
You're most welcome, Emma. We've been neighbors for so many years, and you've been there for me and my husband countless times in the past. This is the least I can do to show my gratitude and repay your kindness.
Hi, is this Eric? It's me, Emma. Oh, Emma.
What's your problem this time, huh? Why do you always have to bother me at the most inconvenient moments? Kid, you ever get the timing right and stop calling me?
All right, Eric, let's get one thing straight. I don't like you, and if I could, I'd avoid talking to you altogether. But here's the deal. You're still my daughter's husband, and there's something she wants me to pass along to you.
What do you want now? Just get to the point already. I don't have any spare time to waste on your pathetic mind games.
Look, Rachel just gave birth to your baby girl. If there's even a tiny bit of decency left in you, you might want to consider heading to the hospital and checking on your wife. It's the least you could do now.
Oh, great. I guess I'll reluctantly swing by the hospital whenever I find the time to witness the hideous little thing that Rachel just managed to push out.
Excuse me? Hideous little thing? What are you talking about?
Oh, please. Spare me the fake shock. Are you seriously trying to act surprised? Everyone knows that newborns are downright repulsive, okay? They resemble monkeys, for crying out loud. Cute? Yeah, right. Not even close.
Evelyn is your daughter, all right? So do me a favor and watch her mouth when you're talking about her. Look, save me the pointless sermon, will you? I'm a grown man, and I sure as hell don't need some nagging old hag like you telling me how to behave. Oh, so you've already given that hideous little creature a name, huh? Evelyn, huh? I can already tell that girl's gonna turn out just as worthless as her mother and grandmother. Are you even human anymore? Your wife just went through the ordeal of risking her life to bring your child into this world. Can't you muster up something nice to say for once?
Oh, great. So it's a girl, huh? Surprise, surprise. Figures that a woman like Rachel would only produce utterly useless girls. You know what? I don't even feel like bothering to visit the hospital to check on Rachel anymore. She's probably lying in bed, unbothered to even put on a makeup. I bet. And let's not forget how she's been packing on the pound since getting pregnant. Who in their right mind would want any association with an ugly wife and an ugly daughter? Certainly not me. That's for damn sure.
Eric, you've crossed a serious line here. Cut it out with your hurtful words and apologize to me and your daughter immediately.
Oh well, now that she's done pushing out a kid, you can inform her to get her lazy ass back to my house and resume her role as the maid. Look at how generous I am, right? Oh, and don't you dare forget to remind her that there's a lack of one fly in my house. Your daughter can just saunter back in, lay around, and expect to be treated like royalty. No chance in hell that's gonna happen.
You know what, Eric? Fine, have it your way. I honestly couldn't care anymore. However, just remember that actions have consequences, and you won't escape the repercussions of your despicable behavior.
2 years later.
Hey, Emma. Just a heads up. I'll be swinging by your place today to pick up Rachel and take her back to my house. I figured you should know in advance.
Huh? What's with the sudden change of plans? Why are you doing this all of a sudden?
Why are you asking such a ridiculously dumb question? Rachel happens to be my wife, so obviously I'm taking her back to live with me. What's so mind-boggling about that, huh?
Wait a minute. Didn't you tell me last time that you wanted nothing to do with my daughter and granddaughter anymore? Listen up. If you think you can just waltz back in and use my daughter as your personal maid again, you can kiss that crazy idea goodbye. There's absolutely no chance my daughter is getting back together with you.
What's with this ridiculous attitude? You insane old hag. I already told you. Hand Rachel over to me, and I damn well mean it. If you refuse, I won't hesitate to call the cops on you for kidnapping. You have no idea what I'm capable of, so don't push me.
Eric, can you please explain why you're suddenly so desperate to reconcile with my daughter? Just be honest with me, Eric. I already have a good idea of what's going on.
What on earth are you blabbering about? What do you think you know, huh? I'm not falling for your pathetic trap. Just relay the message to Rachel and tell her to get her lazy butt back here. I don't have the time or patience to wait around for her.
Some time later.
Hey, it's Rachel. Let me make this absolutely clear, Eric. I refuse to be under your control any longer, and I won't be coming back home. I'll be sending you the divorce papers, so go ahead and sign them.
Huh? Rachel? Are you kidding me? Where did this sudden rebellious attitude come from, Rachel? In today's world, a man with a wife and kids is more likely to succeed. What's the point of being married to you if we divorce? I'm never getting a divorce.
So you married and had a child with me just for the sake of your career advancement, huh? You're despicable, Eric.
Listen, Rachel. It's not what you're assuming. I was just feeling confused, okay? I genuinely didn't mean what I said. You know that, right?
All right. No need to say more. Do you seriously think I'm going to believe any of the nonsense that comes out of your mouth now? My mom already filled me in on everything, you know? You're only trying to get me back because you're desperate to save your failing career. Am I right?
What in the world are you talking about? This whole situation has absolutely nothing to do with my career. Trust me. The truth is, I want you and our daughter back because I genuinely love and miss both of you. You're incredibly important to me, and I can't bear the thought of losing you.
Well, you sure have a talent for fabricating stories, don't you? But let me set the record straight. No matter how much you plead, the fact remains that you've already been fired, and there's absolutely no chance your boss will ever take you back.
But what have I done wrong?
Hey, let's not pretend here. You know exactly what you did, so spare me the victim act. It's a coincidence that your boss happens to be my mom's neighbor. But even if that weren't the case, your shady actions would still be exposed for all to see.
That's absolutely crazy. Honestly, I had no clue that your mom knows my boss. If I had known, I would have handled things differently. I promise you.
Yeah, that's correct. And when he discovered that you had been nothing but abusive towards me and neglecting our child, he was livid. Naturally, a guy who values family like your boss can instantaneously retreat your own kin like disposable objects.
You're the mastermind behind all of this, huh? You sneaky devil. You won't believe what my boss spilled. He straight up told me that he couldn't entrust his team to someone like me. Can you believe it? And that's not all. He even mentioned that he'd informed the CEO and my promotion would be scrapped.
Well, looks like karma finally caught up with you. How does it feel to get a dose of your own medicine?
Rachel, seriously? I can't wrap my head around how you're being so ice cold to me. Come on, cut me some slack and forgive me, will you? Let's just hit the rewind button and go back to the good old days when we were together. I know I messed up big time, but hey, I'm ready to do whatever it takes to make things right. So what do you say? Can we give it another shot?
You've got nothing else to say to me, huh? Just admit it. All you ever care about is work and climbing your ladder of success. Well, Eric, we're through. So long. Goodbye. As it turns out, Eric had been putting on a facade at work, all in the pursuit of that coveted promotion. He went straight to the CEO, trying to defend himself by claiming he was the hardest worker in the company and didn't deserve to be fired. But the CEO saw through his act and bluntly turned him down, revealing that his performance numbers might have looked good, but he had been resorting to aggressive tactics to secure contracts. Eric left the CEO's office utterly humiliated by the rejection. After that, Eric's enthusiasm for work dwindled. His constant errors became a burden, leading to his transfer to a regional department with minimal responsibilities. Once the transfer was settled, Eric started coming to our house repeatedly, begging for another chance to reconcile with my daughter. However, when his persistence became overwhelming, we warned him that we would involve the authorities, and he disappeared from our lives. When Eric's former boss, Eric, had been in a position discovered that my daughter was facing difficulties in getting her divorce accepted, he recommended a top-notch attorney. The divorce proceedings went smoothly, and Rachel was able to receive compensation for the emotional distress she had endured. I heard from one of Eric's colleagues that during his last visit to the office, he looked completely different. He had grown a beard and appeared noticeably thinner. Rachel and I made a mutual agreement to shower Julie with love and support, ensuring she grows up to be a remarkable person, even in the absence of her father.